What's up? I'm AJ, and welcome back to Gen Z Garage. Welcome back. In today's video, we're dedicating this entire episode to everything emergency brake. But before we get started, how do you like my shirt? If you haven't noticed, it's the Fiero is my Fiero. It's pretty cool. So anyways, let's get started working on emergency brake thing.
Although in other videos, I'd basically completely restored the entire rear of the car, I never actually finished the emergency brakes. So in this video, I'll finally get that done. But first, I want to give a shout out to John from West Palm Beach, who has an Etsy store dedicated to making really cool Fiero clothing. If you have a minute, check out his website. The link will be listed in the video description and at the bottom of the screen. I don't get anything from this, but he was nice enough to make a special Fiero shirt just for me. Okay, on to the e-brake system. The first thing you should know about the Fiero's emergency brake system are the components you will need if you're completely rebuilding it. You'll want a set of working or serviceable rear calipers. I purchased a set of remanufactured calipers from Nujian, which came with both a specific left and right side caliper. Make sure if you're buying replacement calipers, you order them with the emergency brake levers already installed. Otherwise, you'll have to buy the springs and brackets separately. These particular brake calipers also came powder coated, and even allowed me to ship back my old rear calipers for rebuilding. Next, you want to make sure you get new cables. The Fiero store sells the 3-piece brake cable kit, which comes with both the left and right caliper cables, as well as the cable that connects to the emergency brake handle. You'll also want to get the e-brake cable connector and the e-brake equalizer. Or you could just get the entire e-brake cable package. Before you start, I need not state the obvious, you don't have an e-brake, so make sure you use wheel chocks to prevent the car from rolling. As I showed in a previous video, I start off by preparing the new rear brake calipers by installing new brake pads. I put a little bit of disc quiet on the back of the pads to both help them go in and to prevent squeaking. Next, I install the brake calipers onto the rear wheel knuckle assembly. Remember, there is a separate left and right caliper. When both calipers are installed correctly, they should be mounted facing the front of the car, with the e-brake cable brackets and springs both pointing down. Next, I begin installing the caliper cables. I start by inserting the passenger side cable into the subframe first, and then install the other side of the cable on the caliper bracket. For every cable, there is a right and wrong side. When the passenger side cable is properly installed, it should look like this. Notice how the cable lays across on the control arm. This is how it's supposed to remain. On both caliper cables, there is a rubber sleeve that protects the cable from wear as movement of the control arm rubs against the cable. So you'll want to make sure that the sleeve is in position as it is here. Make sure the other end is properly hooked into the end of the caliper e-brake arm as shown. If you are having a really hard time compressing the spring to get the cable looped into the hook, some users have found that applying multiple zip ties can make it easier. Just remember to move these once it's in place. For the other end of the cable where it connects to the subframe, it should be installed as shown. There's a small black sheath that slides down and protects the cable from rubbing where it exits the subframe mounting hole. Make sure this is in place. Next, I install the driver's side rear caliper cable. Installation of this side should be a bit more obvious than the passenger side. The long threaded side inserts in through the subframe, while the other end attaches the same as the passenger side. Remember to make sure the rubber insulator is properly protecting the cable from rubbing on the control arm. Next, we install the e-brake handle cable. Inside the car, it should be connected to the emergency brake handle as shown. Keep in mind that it's hard to install this incorrectly because only one side has clips that snap in place. So if it looks like this, you did it correctly. It's worth mentioning at this point that if you've had issues with the brake light coming on, even after properly adjusting the emergency brake, it could be because this emergency brake warning switch has gone bad. You can buy a new one from the Fiero store for under $7. As you install the rear emergency brake cable, it should come out through this hole in the plastic inner rear liner. As installed, it should look like this. Take note that it uses both hooks and a clamp to hold the cable properly in place. You should now have all 3 cable ends loose and accessible in the rear of the car under the center of the subframe. We'll start attaching them together by taking the cable from the emergency brake handle and sliding the equalizer bracket over the cable as shown. It should look like this. Also take note that the crush clamp is on the nut side. On some of these, the crush clamp was incorrectly installed on the wrong side. Next, we'll take the cable connector and slide the clamped stud from the passenger side cable connector into one end of it. It should just snap into place. On the other end, we connect the clamped stud from the emergency brake handle cable to the other end. It should look like this when both sides are snapped in place. With this done, we now connect the driver's side threaded brake caliper cable into the integrated nut on the long equalizer bracket. You should be able to, at first, hand thread the nut over the threaded cable end. I switched to a 5/8 inch crescent wrench and slowly removed the slack in the cables. With the cable tightened up, I reinstalled the e-brake cable hook to keep the cable up and out of the way. You don't want this hanging down or it could get caught on something in the road while you're driving. With everything installed, I test the emergency brake to make sure everything pulls correctly from each side. I then go over to the passenger side and my dad pulls the handbrake again while I watch the caliper e-brake lock into place. And then release the brake. I then inspect the driver's side. And that, my Fiero friends, is how you install the emergency brake.
Thanks for watching. In this video, I fixed up the emergency brake, and now I have weak arms, but it works. That's the point I'm trying to make. It works. That's awesome. So if you found this video informative and you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps. And also, another thing that helps, have you ever noticed that all the cars, like nowadays, they all look the same? I mean, minus like the occasional like sports car, like occasionally, they all kind of look the same. And SEMA SAN, they're pretty cool. SEMA SAN, they are trying to help stop the over-regulation of cars. And you, yes you, viewer, you can help them. So you can go to semasan.com and you can sign up and you can help this amazing cause of awesome cars. And yeah, just go to semasan.com. Be awesome. And thank you for watching.
Pontiac introduces the first turbocharged V8 of the 80s. Available only in Trans Am or Formula Firebird. With power swelling out of the hood and telling the world where it's at. A 4.9-liter message of appreciation to true believers. The way Pontiac knows how to deliver it. The world's only turbocharged V8 available in a production car. Now that's more Pontiac excitement for the great ones.